Well, I thought it would have gone pretty much finger tight, but may just hit something in our threads that didn't quite get cleaned all the way out, but it's near impossible because you can't get in there very well with the cam in its place. We got that good and tight. Let's tilt this thing back again. And if you look up in there, you can see the copper on the new top nut in there. Okay, it says turn the assembly upside down, lay it on its back. Lubricate the seal on the piston assembly similar to the top seal. This is our new one. We want to take our lubricating oil, this is to make it so it'll slip up inside there pretty easy. Place a piston seal assembly into the bottom of the housing and then insert the plastic insertion tool, which is this funny shaped thing, and that I guess is to help, it kind of sits in there just like that, so the piston kind of rides inside the hole and keeps these things at a proper position, and then you can shove it all the way up in there. So I'm going to take and line it up with the top hole in the top nut. And we'll take this, gotta line it up. With the hole on the top is facing forward. That way we can get our, whatever they call this thing again, dowel. Yeah, our dowel pin. Very good. So we can get our dowel pin in there. So now we gotta take and push against this. We may have to lightly tap on it till it gets in there. And they designed it so that it will only go in there so far. Now it says that we need to install the new O-ring onto the valve assembly. You can see the old O-ring on there. It's got paint all around it. So you got to pry that off of there. Comes off with the fingers. Clean all that paint out of there. It says we need to lubricate that also. Weird thing is, it seems like the groove where the O-ring goes is quite large. understand what the point of that is. I guess it's just to trap it in there. Nope, that's the way they designed it. I'm not redesigning the paint sprayer. Okay. Then it says thread into the bottom inlet of the housing and tighten with an adjustable wrench. This will drive the bottom seal into its correct position. In other words, even though that other thing got up to a certain point, it means it must go a little further still. Alright, so we got our threads all cleaned out from before. And again, it's a good idea to always go backwards with threads till you feel it find its correct position before you go forward. That's as far as it goes. Alright, it says that we should align the piston with the yoke, which pretty much just means turn it till it's in its right position. What can we see in there? Alright, let me see the flashlight so I can see. And the piston moves pretty freely at this point, so you should be able to twist and turn it any way you need to get it to line up how you need. And I think we're pretty good for that now. One thing it says you should apply some household grease to the piston and the yoke area to prolong the life of it. Apply to the holes in the yoke with the dowel when the dowel is inserted. They want you to do that because grease lasts a lot longer than oil for lasting. So I'm gonna apply some grease. Alright, we're going to see if we can get our dowel to line up. And just lightly tapped it in with a hammer so we could get our screw and our washer to line up. So we had to get our screw again and get our star tool, and again, just like with everything on screws or anything that has a thread, just go backwards with it till you feel that it is starting its thread. Again, if you cross thread it, it destroys the threads inside the machine and you won't get your screw to tighten. So it's always better to be cautious with threads. Okay, got that in there. I'm going to put a little bit of grease in my screw head just to keep the paint out so it doesn't get filled in and caked if this unit starts leaking again in the future. While I have this open, I'm going to go ahead and put some oil on my can. So it can have a chance of getting some good oil in there. So I set the unit back up. And it says to apply some of your oil between the top nut and the piston. This will prolong the seal life. So we're just talking in here where we got our grease. I guess I feel a little bit better than none. Alright. It says install the front cover and 4 screws, but I want to turn it on first while I have it open because I want to see what it's doing. So here I'll plug it back in. I unplugged it when I was actually taking the unit apart. Anyway, I think I still will just for doing the giggle. Anyway, anytime before I always paint because you'll either have paint thinner or water inside your sprayer. Usually you can use water in there and leave it in there if you're just going to be using it within a day or so, but if they say if you're going to store your unit for a good while, you should leave paint thinner in there because it acts like a lubricant and keeps everything from drying out in there too much. Turn it on again. Everything looks good. And that says we can install our front cover. Use our sharp screwdriver again. Once again, go backwards till you hear the click of the screw, which means it's falling inside of its threads. And there, she's done. I'll show you in a little while how we can suck up paint and we should not have any more paint coming out that hole. And that's how you repair the Wagner and several other kinds of sprayers that all use the same part. I hope you learned something from this just like we did. Have a good day and God bless. Alright, here's our Wagner 9190 in a bucket of water. And water, if anything, seeps around the piston extremely easy. So we're going to turn it on. And no water coming out the front. And I'm telling you, before this, water and paint were just gushing out of the unit. I mean, the unit would not stop running. So much of it was able to bypass. Even when we were running paint through it, it just stayed running and running and running. It would not stop. And paint was squirting out this hole, shooting out about probably this far away from the unit. That's how bad our leak was. And so after doing the piston pump repair kit, that solved our problem. So we should be able to be back to painting like we want to be. And like I said before, thank you and have a good day and God bless you.